Welcome to this Roll for Crit review. In this video, we're going to show you what Big Potato Games has coming up with What's Next, a dexterity adventure game. In this game, you will choose one of 3 stories included with the base box, and this will give you a deck of cards in which you'll try to go through, discover your own path, hopefully reach the end without gaining too much peril. Along the way, you'll be doing different dexterity actions in order to pass, maybe gather some items, or fail and take a bit of a punishment. This game includes 3 base stories, one involving Koala Island, an island with some not so friendly koalas, one involving called the Skyscraper Caper, in which you're actually a superhero trying to return home and just getting a bit of a relaxation, but of course, it never works out. And finally, we have one titled Blinky's Great Escape, where you'll play as Blinky trying to escape your fate and gain freedom. What we have set up here is for the Drums of Koala Island. That said, while each story has our own little unique rules and ways to interact with things, overall, it'll still look like this. You will have your location cards. This is pretty much a deck of cards, and that's what you're going to go through after reading the little introduction or watching the video they provide in the rule book. You'll go through these, reading about them, and they'll usually say, go to either location card 4 or location card 10. Or it may tell you to do an event card. Now, the events, without showing them too much, will have things like this. There are dexterity challenges for you to do. They give you a whole bunch of different toys for you to mess with, so there's different ways that make it involved. For example, this is a little sliding thing here in which you may have to flick to hit a certain area. You may have to flip this coin. You may have to arrange these pieces. You may have to pull from this blind bag of lots of fun little goodies if I can actually open it up and try to find a certain piece. There's also plenty of other weird things to have you do. Some of the actions may sound like they can only work if you're playing with other people. They do have solo variants of them. So for example, if there's one where a player has to hide a piece and you have to guess which piece they took or something weird like that, the solo one may be just like draw one from the bag and guess something about it. So this is playable whether you're playing by yourself or with a group of people. Depending on whether you pass or fail, you'll read the back, and usually penalty involves these peril chips over here. You see, throughout the game, there's a little bit of a timer. Now, these timers are unique to each story, but really they're the same thing. They have usually 3 good symbols. In this case, it's the sun. And one sort of scary symbol, in this case, it's a moon. It's usually representing the passage of time. In this case of Koala's story, it's literally the sun rising and setting. The other ones will be a little different. When you ever hit the night phase, you're actually going to look at the opposite side of the location cards. Usually, there'll be more difficult challenges, things scarier, and giving you peril. These purple blocks here. Every time you see a skull symbol for peril, which usually comes from, like I said, the night symbol or failing events, you have to take one of these purple chips here, and you must stack them vertically like so. So in this case, I might fail right here, right now. No, I am good. So that is okay. But if anytime these fall over, that's it. Game's over. You've lost. So really, that's your main timer there. You can choose any piece. They don't tell you. They're all weird shaped pieces you can see here. So there's going to be some planning like, ooh, this one's bigger and it's better on the base, but this one would stack better. So there's going to be a whole lot of that. Throughout the game, you also may come across item cards. These items are hidden like so. They may do things like let you skip certain challenges. Or you may come across a story event like go to this card if you have item 5. So they're a great thing for you to collect, but remember that peril tower, the longer you go exploring, the more likely it's going to fall over and you're going to lose. So this is the basis of the game. It's pretty much a fun little choose your own adventure book in essence, but instead of rolling dice or maybe playing cards or just reading the book, it's got a bunch of fun little dexterity games attached to them. I will say I played through all the stories. I didn't do the challenge modes. They have things if you want to play through again and maybe up the difficulty, find specific items. I found this to be cute, fun stories. I don't know if this is something that will target the kind of like Gloomhaven or Seventh Continent player in terms of the sprawling, expansive world. However, I think this is a great fit for families. I did find these stories pretty fun and cute to go along with. They weren't, I think, too boring. They were definitely, and they didn't cover anything too crazy in terms of topics or whatever. And the dexterity games, while I like them, I'm not the best at them. I do like it because of the tactile nature. That's just for me. Ask Jonathan. I fidget way too much, as I've been doing right now throughout this part of the video. And I feel like with a younger audience, it's the perfect thing to have fun and being able to build all these things and stuff without too many penalties, going back through with the tower and being able to play with them. So that I think it fits that perfect balance of the entertaining for kids and not brain dead for adults. Like, I still thought, like, what should we do? Should we get this item? Yeah, I'll go this path. Oh, I got an item. We'll talk about that and stuff and doing paths. Like, just the right amount of choice there. That being said, this is still a heavy dexterity game. There were some times when me being a klutz, not even like building this thing, I might accidentally knock something over and the game had to start over. So I can understand that being something maybe not as appealing to people, especially if luck's not your thing. And I don't even mean that in terms of like you're flipping this, like flipping a coin often or rolling a die a lot. It's just one of those things where you have to be very careful. And of course, because it's a dexterity game, some of the games are literally flicking across the table. The table you play on may matter. But beside that, I thought the 3 stories are cute. For me, I know the dials mean different things, so they may give you 3 different time dials, but they're the same ratio of 4. I think they could have either made these different or just made one generic one. That way, assuming they make new story packs like going on for different things, that they could expand that way or just keep that timer to be a bit more generic. Overall, though, I do think it is a really cute sort of much lighter story game that fits that perfect, whether you're just want to play by yourself and you enjoy dexterity games, or if you have a family and you want something that you can all play together and all be engaged in. Crits and misses for what's next. Crits. There's a wide variety of components to mess around with in all the different dexterity games. This means you'll never know whether you're flipping a coin, sliding something across the table, or trying to assemble a puzzle. The base game provides 3 stories, which I all thought were cute and fun. A smart choice which lets you play different stories and, of course, easily sets it up for future expansions. Misses. While this is a choose-your-own adventure, it's not a choose-your-own ending. That means ignoring the just straight up losing if the Tower of Peril falls off. You're gonna hit the same ending regardless of what path you take. It's nice that they include some solo mode and challenges in there in case you're playing by yourself, but I really feel like this game shines with other people. If you're just playing by yourself, doing the actions and stacking, it may feel a little boring, especially to those maybe used to larger, grander adventures. This is definitely the kind of game I think you can see now if it's for you or not. In particular, I mean, almost at any point, it could be a crit or miss for people as dexterity games. I know that's one that for some people they enjoy, some they're not, because for plenty of reasons. But I feel this is definitely one that you should take a look at. Weirdly enough, for these story games, or not these story games, but just story games in general, when I think of either whether it be something like Sherlock, it's a mystery, or something bigger I mentioned like the Gloomhaven or Seven Wonders, I usually think of a smaller group. But this, I think, is perfect for a not large, but like a full family. I think you can have a lot of fun all playing together, and it's just the right amount of engagement that I think won't bore older players, while at the same time, it is not too long of a journey that you think it'll take months to actually complete one storyline. Now, of course, this may depend on the people you play with, but I still had a lot of fun, honestly, playing this in terms of just taking it that way. And because the stories are more bite-sized, which makes more sense. That Tower of Peril I have a hard time stacking those, I admit. So I cannot imagine taking something very long like a legacy game with this. But it's still something I thought was cute, fun, and something to take a look at if you enjoy maybe a lighter hearted story and more lighthearted gameplay. You can let me know what your thoughts on this are, if you've played through this, and if you think that if you had a favorite story to play through, or if there's something you think they can expand on it. I would love if they do future packs like this, if maybe some of them had maybe a bit more escape room puzzly methods. And of course, and see what else they have in store. I'm sure they can include maybe some more puzzle pieces along the way, or maybe just try to come up with even more weird things for that as I drop the puzzle piece. You can let me know in those comments down below. Until then, I'm Will, and this has been Roll for Crit. Thank you for watching this whole video. It means a lot. If you want to help support us more, of course, you can simply just click that like and subscribe down there. You can go to our Patreon or visit our merch store. Fun fact, if you're at the high roller tier in our Patreon, you actually get a discount for some of the awesome merch we have in our store, so check both out.